Alright, what's going on YouTube and vapors around the world? Today we're going to do a quick breakdown of the Eleaf Ijust NexGen. It's a second generation to the Ijust, which was the original. Been using this for a couple days. Real easy to put together, real easy to use. If you're a first time vapor or you're just looking to upgrade, this is the device definitely worth looking at. And as we get into this, you will see why. Alright, let's go ahead and get this box off. I already have the mod out to the side, just so we can go through this before we get to that. Extra glass, in case you drop it and break it. And upon opening this, we have an extra coil in the package. This is a 0.2 ohm coil. It's best between 40 and 65 watts, which is right in the middle of where this device can operate at full battery power, which is 50 watts. It's a good choice. I've had good flavor out of that coil. I've been using it, like I said, a couple days now, and it hasn't faltered in any way and hasn't had any leaking issues, so a very well made coil. Now getting to this, we have some extra O-rings, and it appears we have a extra drip tip if you don't like the one that is stock that on the mod itself when you open the package. So they give you a little option. That's nice to see. It is an internal battery, 3000 milliamp battery. What that equates to is I've used it for about 8-9 hours. Haven't had to put it on the charger, and still didn't need to, but upon doing this review, I decided I better put it on the charger for a little bit. You don't want it to die right in the middle. That would be embarrassing. So any cell phone wall plug you can plug this into, charge it. Get an instruction manual. It's as basic as it gets, really. You really don't need it in a sense, because once I get done with this video, you're going to see that the device is so easy to comprehend and understand and use that you're really not even going to need that. So getting into the bread and butter of this, here it is out of the package, all put together, and we'll break it down and show you how that's done and how to put it back together real easy. This one, as you can see, is silver, but Eleaf also offers it in black, white, blue, gray, and red. So you have a color option to go with. And getting back to that charging cord that you saw, there is the charging port. It's on the side instead of on the bottom like some of the older models, and even some of the newer ones as well that have it on the bottom. I like that. You don't have to lay it down to charge it. You don't have to worry about any leaking issues that may or may not pop up. I haven't had any with this. So overall, they did a good job sealing it up. Okay, we'll get into a little bit of specs on it. It is 24.5 millimeters in diameter. It's 117 millimeters in height. It's not a real tall device. As you can see, it's just over palm size in length, real small, real tiny. The resistance on the coils, getting to those which I had shown you, they range from 0.15 to 3.0 resistance. So you have your option depending on how you like to vape, or if you want to experiment and figure out what ohm resistance works for you, then you have a little bit of playing room with it to decide. Now, a very cool feature about this particular device that Eleaf incorporated, they have a dual circuit protection. Breaking that down to real simple terms, it helps protect not just the system but the battery as well from overcharging, overcurrent, too much discharge that may occur over time. It helps break that down from becoming an issue in the future. So it's ultimately a a fairly safe device. I would say it's a very safe device personally. I've had no heating issues with the battery. I've had no heat transfer to the tank. Overall, it's kept it cool, so whatever they did there at Eleaf, it panned out really well. Now, as you can see, this one is in silver, but it also comes in black, white, blue, gray, and red. So you have a color option. If you don't like this one, there's some other choices you can make. Now let's go ahead and break it down real quick. And just twist this off. Real easy. There you go. There's your coil. Very simple. As you can tell, the tank will not stay on unless it's buttoned down to the coil. Pretty standard practice. A unique feature on this device, and you'll see that when I take off the air adjustment ring here, is the base is solid to the internal battery. There is no disconnecting that. So yes, it's a little bit negative, but it's also a positive. It stays firm. You don't have to worry about your threads bending. You don't have to worry about your threads stripping out at the base. So overall, not a bad feature. Could it play a little bit of a negativity down the road, depending on how well the threads were done in this particular device when it comes to putting the coil in and pulling it out and putting a new one in? Well, that would take a little more time than I had to really come up with an idea of how long it would take. Again, I've had mods for years and the threads never gave out, so not a big issue. Alright, you got your threads inside of the tank there. This is, in fact, a 2mm capacity tank. Not a lot of fluid, but if you're an occasional to, moderate user of vaping products, then that's not going to bother you whatsoever. A very, very small issue to even think about or bat an eye at. Alright. That really wraps it up on the details of this device. It's not, there's not a lot to it. So we're going to go ahead and I want to show you how you fill it, which is cool. It's similar to the Evic Primo in the sense that it will slide, but it's different in the fashion that there's no lifting it up on a hinge in the back. So, I like that one a little better personally, but they made the fill hole very wide board, which is nice. It makes it very easy to get the standard dripper out of a bottle to fill in there and fill your tank up without having overspill or creating an air pocket of some sort. So that's nice to see. Let's go ahead. If you saw the last video, I went with Van Custard, and I am going with it once again, 6mg. I find that I can vape a little higher milligram than in my daily mod, just because the power's a little lighter. So, yep, see that? There's an easy way to avoid that. If you guys just push the liquid in a little bit faster, you don't do it so slow, it is much smoother. Pushing liquid in slow tends to create that air pocket. That's not a manufacturer error on design. That's more of just like user awareness. Say it didn't happen that time, it's good to go. Let's go ahead and wipe this off real fast. We'll give it a quick vape, and then we'll wrap this up. Alright. Now, standard procedure for turning these on and off is very easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It will blink at you. It's off. It's not going to fire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's on. That's simple. Now, for those of you that noticed the fire button lights up, It is color coded based on your battery percentage. Green is 60 to 100%, orange is 30 to 59, blue is 10 to 29%, and once you hit red, you're obviously under 10% on battery life and you need to get it charged up before it dies on you. Alright, so let's show you a little bit of what it can do. I did not put a lot of liquid in here. No need to really. It's a review. We're not looking to make clouds with a device like this, so you really don't need to fill it up for this purpose. As you can see, it has fairly decent vapor production for a battery that's only around 60%, I would say, based on the color of it. It's yellowish going to orange soon, so it's not bad. That means it's probably operating around 35 watts or so. Not a lot of power going to it, but again, with usage on the battery, your wattage drops. Alright, so pros and cons. My one con, I would say, would be the airflow adjustable ring here. There seems to be some play in it. Wasn't a big fan of that. It made it a little difficult to prime the coil from within the tank, but that can be easily avoided if you just prime the coil before it comes out. For those of you who don't know what that means, it's just putting e-liquid directly into the cotton before you install the coil into the base of the mod. So very, very small con. Another con for me on a personal level, and this is just based on my style of usage in my daily vape mod that I have, would be the capacity of the e-liquid. It is very small. It's only 2 milliliters. So for me, it was a lot of filling up, but I vape a lot, so that comes without saying. If you're, again, a light to moderate user of e-liquid in order to get your nicotine fix, then that's not going to be an issue. And I said that earlier, so I'm being a little bit repetitive, but I just want to get that information out there, not to be discouraged about the tank, because it may fit your needs. Pros, I absolutely love the battery life. Battery life is definitely up there. For something this small to last 8-9 hours and still not die on me and have to charge it, that's a big deal. So if you're at work or you're gonna go out for a while and with the family, whatever the case may be, this will last a majority of the time out there, if not the whole time you're out with it. You just would have to carry a bottle of e-liquid with you, because what's in there most likely wouldn't last and probably will not last the entire day. Another pro would be the simplicity of the device. It's really just straightforward. It's very few parts to deal with. There's no variable wattage to it. There's no temp control of any sort. So if you're just looking for something simple and straightforward and nothing too fancy, you know, go with this device. Check it out. See if your local shop has it, and pick it up. Get off the analogs. There's another way to get your nicotine. So if you like what you see, you like what you hear, go to your local shop and see if they have one in stock to pick up. All right, have a good night.